I love Batei Midrashos. I love shuls and Beis Medrash that are welcoming to all Yidden. That Yidden are wanted and welcome there. It's like a very important thing to me. I've gone to different shuls around America that are like specifically very strong in this area. Yidden are wanted here. All Yidden are welcome here. I want to express, I went with some of the Chevra. We went last night to Teaneck. We went to a beautiful shul that's welcoming of Yidden. But I don't like missing yeshiva, but I do want the yeshiva to be a place people are welcome. And sometimes going places just expands our Beis Medrash, allows people that are listening to the shiurim here, that are connected to the yeshiva, we're just widening the Beis Medrash, making more space for Yidden. I want to express that. I want to learn a Rambam together with the Chevra Chaim. It's a Rambam in the 4th parak of Hilchos Teshuvah, and I want to talk about this Rambam for a few minutes. The Rambam describes 5 things that noyal darkei atshuvah fnei Isayim, that block tshuva, that are blockages to tshuva, that are complete blockages. Tshuvahs to return to Hashem, to return to our neshamas, to be more ourselves. That's tshuva. It's to be more ourselves. To be mamish, Hashem sent a beautiful soul here to this earth, and tshuvahs, we get more in touch. To be the light that we're each supposed to be more in touch, to be more present, to return to our mission, to return to our Creator, to return to our mahus. All this is a tshuva. The Rambam brings that 5 things block tshuva. And it's kedai to see all these 5 things. I'm not going to discuss, I'm discussing one right now, one of these 5 things. But his first one of the 5 things is Pirish Minat Tzibur. He says, Azi, if somebody separates from the Tzibur, somebody detaches himself from Klal Yisrael. It fascinates me. He doesn't say, because if the Tzibur does tshuva, he says, Lefisha bizman sheyasu tshuva. When the Tzibur does tshuva, he's not going to be with them. And he's not going to be zoich with the zchuyos that they're doing. Amazing Rambam. What? A tzibur is going to do tshuva. It's noyel dark. If you're disconnected to the tzibur, when they do tshuva, you're not going to be one of them. I always think about our Beis Medrash in our year. The Chevra's we're going to get places. When the guy's not part of it, he doesn't go to a tournament, the Tzibur's doing things. Avi, do we have a doubt that a Tzibur of Yidden is going to do something? He doesn't say if the Tzibur does tshuva, when a Tzibur of Yidden's going the right way. If you're with the Tzibur, so then when they do tshuva, you'll have it. If you're Pirish Minat Tzibur, when they do tshuva, you're not going to be with them.
It's not a blockage, though.
So Abi asks, why is that noyel darkei tshuva? Why is that a blockage for tshuva? Somehow there's an energy, there's like a promise, a group of Yidden are going to do tshuva. So I hear it's like block is one path of tshuva. Avi says, but can't the guy have his independent path of tshuva? It's a good question. It says it's noyel darkei tshuva. Maybe it cuts off a certain path of tshuva, Avi. There's some blockage of a derech tshuva. There's a derech tshuva. If I'm part of a tzibur is always going to get it. There's not like a doubt on a tzibur of Yidden. The only question is, if I'm not part of the tzibur, when they do it, I'm not going to be with them. Yeah. I'm not sure, Avi. It's a legitimate question. Rav Eli, what do you say to what Avi's asking? But he could also have other paths of tshuva, his own. So Rai says, being Pirish, you know what the tzibur is going to do. So if he's purposely Pirish, so then it's unlikely he's going to have his own path of tshuva. Maybe. What? Cool for that he's not with them. There's something that's saying. It's interesting. He says a line, the Rambam, Shua. The Rambam writes, Shua, right? Welcome home, Shua. Thanks for being here, Shua. Thank you. What's your first name? Menachem. Welcome home. Thank you for being here, Menachem. It's It's interesting. The Rambam says a second thing. This is not what I want to speak about today, but we're learning a Rambam. Let's learn Torah. The Rambam says a second thing. The Rambam says that if somebody's perish from the tzibur, then he's not zoiche b'd'zchuyos their oisim. He doesn't get the merits that they do. The Rambam's Mivur, I always quote Rabbeinu Yoina. Rabbeinu Yoina Yisrael says this lahedya. Rabbeinu Yoina writes that if you're part of a chabura and one person does a big thing, a person does something, you get the schar afal pi shein oiseh k'maseyim. Even if you didn't do, now we're not schar collectors. Schar is a good thing. We want schar, I promise. But we're not like getting schar is megala that you're part of something. Being part of a tzibur, somebody in our shul, Rav Ezi and our shul, three chevra, they made a siyum on the entire Nevi'im. I felt it was my siyum. I'm part of them. I'm with the chevra. I feel connected. It was our siyum. It's our simcha. We're going to get schar pashat. We're part of it. When you're part of a chabura, so you get schar, but it's deeper than we're saying you get prizes for it. It means you're connected to that thing. And he says if somebody's pirish minat tzibur, then you're not zoiche mayim in the zchuya shaisim, but if you're part of a tzibur, within our Beis Medrash, there are going to be a lot of big accomplishments. If you're connected to it, you get schar. But Chaim was saying it's connected to you. This one makes a siyum. This one, yeshivas put out there, Menachem. I have watched entire Chaim, so we get the newsletter of the yeshiva, and they wish like Mazel Tovs. This one finished this Masechta. This one finished that Masechta. What's being said in the yeshiva, obviously they're taking pride, somebody in the Beis Medrash, but it really belongs to the entirety of the Beis Medrash. People say, Aaron, you'll find people say, and there's a real thing here. A guy will say, if somebody in a Beis Medrash became like a big gadol, people will pride. I was in yeshiva with him. So you say, so what? But okay. There's a real thing there. I was in yeshiva with him as a real zach. I was in yeshiva with this tzaddik. It's a real zach. It means I'm part of that. And it's true. It's true. It's true. I'm connected to that. I want to express, there's a Sfas Emes in Parshas Lech Lecha. My friend Ilan Kappenstein, Mayor Ilan Kappenstein, this Goin B'Torah we was learned in our Beis Medrash, and I say that here with the pride. Ilan Kappenstein spoke at his bris of his son, who was named after the Sfas Emes, and he said at the bris of his son a beautiful Sfas Emes. In Lech Lecha, it says Avram Avinu's chosen. Avram Avinu had a group of friends, Azi. The names were Oner, Eshkol, and Mamre. So he has a chevra. You can imagine if Avram Avinu's friends, Menachem, they were Geshmak a chevra. They probably were pretty good guys. Avram Avinu, from the greats who ever lived, he had a group of friends, a chevra. Oner, Eshkol, and Mamre. Avram Avinu chose to get a bris milah. And the Torah tells us when Hashem appears to Avram Avinu, it says Hashem appears to Avram be'eloinei Mamre, in the plains of Mamre. And Chazal say, you know why Hashem appeared to Avram in Mamre's field? Because Mamre gave him the eitzah on the bris milah. Now, first of all, what is this like little shout out to Mamre? Mamre gets a shout out in the Torah. Where was Avram when Hashem came to him? He was in Mamre's field. Oh, Mamre got a shout out in the Torah. What's the sophisticated? What's being told here? What's it being said, Yosef? Mamre gets a shout out. And what is this that Mamre gives Avram Avinu advice on bris milah? Hashem told him to have a milah. And the Sfas Emes explains the way I'm understanding, Menachem. Avram Avinu was singled out, and it has a milah, means by Oner, Eshkol, and Mamre, my friends, Hashem has a special, unique mission. I'm becoming a Yid. I'm the Am Hashem, the bottom. The other friends are like, excuse me? Whoa, Avram. And you can imagine not just jealousy, a deep sense of like, so I'm not shaykh to this. Mamre had a deep understanding. When Avram was asked to bris milah, he encouraged Avram. Nasan lo eitz ala milah. Do you know because he encouraged Avram, he's shaykh to what Avram has? If you encourage and you celebrate and you're part of it, Hashem appearing to Avram Beloine Mamre is not stam like a cute shout out. Hey, Mamre got his name in there. No. It's saying that it was in Mamre's field. Mamre shaykh to this. Whatever Avram Avinu has, Mamre is like, he's connected to it. It's relevant to him. You know why? Because he cheered Avram Avinu on in the bris milah. If you cheered it on, you're shaykh to it. You get schar with it. Mamre gets schar together with Avram Avinu. You get a sense, it's not just a cute shout out. Hashem appearing to Avram, Beloine Mamre. When a guy smiles and says, my friend, we were in Beis Medrash together, he's a gadol. He says, okay, what does it do with you? It has to do with you. You cheered him on. You were in his Beis Medrash. You were part of celebrating him. You encouraged him. You were part of the chevra. You were a orangutan. You get the schuyas mamish. You get schar, the adam gadol. That which you're priding in is emes. There's a truth to it. Mamre, who cheers Avram Avinu on, so you say, okay, you gave him the advice, you were excited, what does it have to do? And Mamre said, from my Beis Medrash, Avram Avinu became Kapras Milah. And when Hashem speaks to Avram, he speaks to him Beloine Mamre in the plains of Mamre. Mamre is connected to this. Really, it's a real thing. Very real. And it's real that in the Beis Medrash, in a tzibur, people that are part of the tzibur, and each one, I felt it when the three chevra made a sim. They're part of our chabura. I have a piece of it. I don't want it as an excuse. I'm not saying as an excuse not to do my own work. I want to do, actually, I'm inspired to do my own work. I'm connected to good things. I have a shaykhus to it. I'll encourage, you'll encourage, and from us we'll do big stuff that all of us are shaykh. It's the opposite of a world of jealousy. A world, Rav Wolbe spoke that in the Beis Medrash there could be a lot of jealousy, a lot of kinna. I think if people understand this, it would be a big antidote. First of all, we all have our own light, and second of all, I cheer him on, I'm shaykh to his light. It's the opposite of the kinna. In the Beis Medrash of Aner, Eshkol, and Mamre and Avram, there was one person who got it. Mamre got it. And instead of saying, whoa, Avram singled out, what about me? He cheered Avram Avinu on. And you know what ended up happening? When Hashem spoke to Avram, it was in Mamre's field. Mamre's shaykh here. He's shaykh, he's noitel schar with Avram Avinu. It's shaykh in his Beis Medrash, he encouraged. The Rambam describes if somebody's pirish minat tzibur, they're like the whole tzibur is doing, and no, I don't want. He says when the tzibur gets zechuyos, he won't be zeich in the zechuyos shaisim. He's part of the tzibur, he's connected. It's a big thing to be connected to the tzibur, very. You're part of the tzibur, you're a contributing member, you're cheering on the members of the tzibur. I have big studim to push Siyumim this year for many reasons. First of all, I want Limud Torah in our Beis Medrash. Some people have motivated finishing Masechtas. I also love the way we celebrate each other's accomplishments. I felt on the Siyum that there was an understanding that his simcha, I'm connected to it. His simcha is very much connected to me. His accomplishment very much connects. Yeah, you could sense, I think people in Yisrael deeply sense this. When they pride, somebody in my Beis Medrash became a big guy. When a yeshiva sends out, this bacher finished the Masechtas, what does that do with everybody else? I think it's relevant. The yeshiva has a pride, and it's more than a pride. There's a sense we're shaykh to it, and they're right. And the Rambam writes, Rabbeinu Yoina writes this openly, that if you're part of a chabura and one has an accomplishment, even though you're not doing the same thing, you're connected to it. And Rabbeinu Yoina doesn't need my askam, it's words of emes. The Rambam saying it also. The Rambam saying a pirish minat tzibur is not going to be neitel schar in the zchuyos. He who connects to the tzibur is part of it. Each one has his accomplishments. You push it, you're part of that. You're shaykh to that. You're together with that. Each one bringing their thing, adding their thing. That emes creates, there's a truth, it's the emes, it is the truth, and it creates such a beautiful environment. Instead of people competing and tangled, each one is such a big thing for us. Each guy who's steigen is a big thing. Bring your part, it's a big thing. In a shul, it's a big thing, people accomplishing and finishing and learning and growing. And contribute your part, and he contributes his part, and then we're all neitel the schar as a collective unit. We're neitel the schar. This is like the opposite of a world of kin, of jealousy. It's a deeper emes that, like, you see your friend, the friend is mamish davening a beautiful Shemon Esrei. You encouraging, you're part of his Shemon Esrei. You mamish want him daven better, do even more. It's together, it's zusammen, we're shaykh to this. Me cheering him on, him cheering me on, we're both part of the same Malchus Shamayim, both part of the same mission, both neshamas that are part of the same team, and his success is my success, mine is his success. So that's the Rambam describes, and he says Parish Minat Sibra loses somebody who like separates himself from that, loses this whole beautiful Mitzius. So that's the first thing. The Rambam then schaylik al divrei chachamim. Machlaikis causes him to be parish in them, and he won't know dark yachum. I want to get to number Gimel. The third thing the Rambam says that prevents dark yachuvah is what I want to talk about this afternoon. And the third thing the Rambam says is malag ala mitzvahs. Somebody laughs at mitzvahs. Somebody who mocks mitzvahs. Shekivan shenis bazu be'enav, since mitzvahs are like cheap in his eyes, einay roidev achareim, he won't run after mitzvahs. V'loy eisen, he won't do them. V'loy yasen, if he doesn't do mitzvahs, v'ma yizke, how will he become pure? Well, what will he be zeicha? And the Rambam writes, malag ala mitzvahs, if somebody makes fun of mitzvahs, if somebody doesn't give it the proper chashivas, a malag ala mitzvahs, somebody who laughs at mitzvahs. If you laugh at mitzvahs, since they're like cheap in your eyes, you won't do them, and if you don't do them, b'ma yizke, how's a person going to get close to Hashem? How's a person going to become pure and precious? Vizach is pure. B'ma yizke, mitzvahs. I want to discuss for a few minutes malag ala mitzvahs, laughing at mitzvahs. I was zeicha to have a father, Harenik Aparas Mishkavai, who took mitzvahs very seriously. He had a tremendous appreciation for mitzvahs. And my father was allergic to leitzanas. He was allergic. Leitzanas was like, now what's leitzanas? Leitzanas has nothing to do with being funny. In modern Evrita, Letzan is a clown. My father loved funny people. Rav Ezi was one of my father's favorite people on earth. And my father, it's true. And he liked Rav Ezi, it's not a kasha to like it as a Talmud Chacham Rav Ezi, but he liked Rav Ezi, he makes Yidden smile. He makes Yidden smile.
Doesn't need explaining now. Why did he like Rebbe?
My father was very into funny people. But Reb Ezi is somebody who makes Yidden smile. Great to see you, Simon. He makes Yidden smile, and my father, so Leitzanis had nothing to do with being funny. He believed, like in humor, geschmack, his best friends were like very, very funny. Rabbi Binnenfeld, this beautiful Yid, very big Yid as well, who my father was friends with decades, he appreciated, he caused Yidden to smile. So Leitzanis has nothing to do with humor. Good humor is great. I increasingly, to me, it's pashut like in a room, when there's like laughter, things going better. Things go much when people laugh and smile and are happy, then things could go in geschmack. A Yid being happy, it's hard to find a better thing on earth. There's nothing to do with Leitzanis. Leitzanis is to devalue that which is chashuv. Leitzanis, if somebody made fun of a mitzvah, my father, I have stories with him, and I've heard stories, and people have told me over stories. Somebody mocked the mitzvah, that was a crime. Mitzvahs are serious. Don't put down that which is serious. Mitzvahs are serious. I want to express like the opposite of malag ala mitzvahs, the opposite of laughing at mitzvahs, and I want to discuss it for a little bit. One of my favorite activities of the whole year, I'm zeicher to go with my children and we go buy the Daled Minim together. I think that my children look forward to it. I look forward. It's a big thing. We go buy the Daled Minim. I want to say to the chevra at your ages, I ask, and I know not everybody has money, it's complicated our ages. If somebody has money and to try to maybe even work a little bit to make some money, maybe in the summer, I don't know, it's a big inyan to pay for mitzvahs yourself. Nobody should buy you an esrog. I've been offered, people want to buy me an esrog. I say the words chas v'sholom. Chas v'sholom. The Arizal mo'oid machmir al zeh. The Chayadim brings the Arizal was very, very machmir on this to pay for a mitzvah. I want to pay full. I buy the esrog. Reb David Stein is one of my best friends. Reb David Stein, Tzaddik Reb David. He always wants to give me off. His kids learned here. I don't let him give. I get very upset. Not $1 off. I want to pay full price for the mitzvah. No chance. I want to pay for the mitzvah. I want to buy down. I go with my kids. We spend kesed mali. We spend good money. Of course, what do I want to do with my money? A mitzvah. We're born for this mitzvahs. Now I want to say we have to study what the mitzvah is. Hashem asked me to do something. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. I take it very seriously. Hashem asked me to. Hashem was mitzvah me. So it's a big deal. I love watching the guys put on tefillin. I see a kiyum of the opposite of laughing at mitzvahs. I love the way guys put on tefillin. It's like a beautiful scene. The Beis Medrash. There's a seriousness. It's a mitzvah of tefillin. To give seriousness, to take it seriously. The mitzvah of sukkah. By the way, Daled Minim, and taking it seriously, part of the opposite of laughing at mitzvahs is learn a little about the mitzvah. I ask guys, we're going to shake Daled Minim. Find out that today you could get a safe. You could ask Rav Ezi, sit down. Maybe we'll give a shiur in yeshiva before we leave. Find out the laws. You're going to go to the esrog dealer. Find out the laws. It happens to be a beautiful scene. Go yourself to a nice place. You got by us in the esrog place is a party. Rav Ezi's there. He's hacking and handling, and we're all tumbling. And then they have a Rav there who sits there looking at people's ass. It's a beautiful scene. I always liked in Eretz Yisrael there were different tzaddikim that you could bring your esrog to know. I like that. I like that Yidden are taking mitzvahs very seriously. You buy an esrog. By the way, wherever you live, maybe bring it to the Rav. Say, can I show you my esrog? The Rav looks, Mahudr. It's a big thing, the mitzvahs, to take mitzvahs seriously. There's a sugya. You could learn, you could study the mitzvah. You could find the halachas. Maybe even look up a nice idea. What is the mitzvah saying to you? Mitzvahs talk. It's a big thing to study a mitzvah. What does it mean? The Daled Minim is fascinating. A whole shul of people holding this and shaking it. Maybe you could study a little. If I don't know what's happening, the Rebbeinu Shalom's mitzvah, that's pretty cool. But I could find out a little. What does the mitzvah mean to me? It could touch you in certain ways. What's it saying, the mitzvah? Different years, different things hit with it. The mitzvah of sukkah. Mitzvah of sukkah, to build a sukkah, to be involved in the mitzvah. That's the opposite of malag ala mitzvahs. The opposite. I have a thing, I like building my own sukkah. I tried it a couple of years and I've had bad things happen. I got clocked on the head by a wooden beam. I had a huge welt. So then I had my brother build my sukkah. I hire somebody. I want to at least put on the schach. So now I tried again. Last year I went back. I decided I'm going back into construction. And I did it. Maish did most of it, I admit it. Maish's hand. We built the whole sukkah together. We did have Aaron Smilowitz is crazy handy. So he helped out. But I want to be involved. The opposite of malag ala mitzvahs. I have a mitzvah. Welcome, Sroli. I have there's to take mitzvahs very seriously. I want to express that part of the sugya of taking mitzvahs seriously is anybody who has a sense in the year. Anybody who has a sense with the same people, I'm coming up to Rosh Hashanah, I'm a different person this year. You know why? I gave Shalach Manas this year. I ate matzah for a lot of days. I didn't eat chametz. I sat in a sukkah. From last year Rosh Hashanah to this year Rosh Hashanah, I sat in the sukkah. I really did. I sat in a sukkah. I shook the daled minim. Mitzvahs change a person. Mitzvahs are a big thing. Are we always in this, sitting in the sukkah, Nishamas leave Olam Haba and come to your sukkah. You know what that means? It's not, Chazal are not joking around. Nishamas are in your sukkah. Do we have the name? The sukkah, the Sfas Emes writes, has the Kedush of the Beis HaMikdash. A sukkah is a crazy holy place. You think somebody's the same sits in a sukkah? I'll never forget the rest of my life, this past sukkah, sitting in the sukkah together with my father, being Zeicha. Rav Ezi was there, we were in the sukkah together. It was from a different world. Neshamas come from Olam Haba and sit in your sukkah. You know what the sukkah is? That neshamas come to your sukkah? That ushpizim, that tzaddikim come to Yid sukkah. You know why they come to Yid sukkah? Because it's holier than up there. Wherever the holiest place tzaddikim come to. Neshamas come to my sukkah, and yours too. I want to say, understand mitzvahs are big things. Are we always in the space? People make like jokes. The ushpizim are in my sukkah. They're really, I promise you, they're there. You say, I'm not in that space to appreciate, to know. Don't laugh at a mitzvah. Be careful. Be careful. Study a lot about it. And by the way, maybe it's kedai to find out. It says Kedushas of the Beis HaMikdash. You know what it means, Kedusha of the Beis HaMikdash? You know Eretz Yisrael, Yishuv Eretz Yisrael is a big thing. You know your sukkah has Kedushas, has some Kedusha of Eretz Yisrael, and it's a big thing. Being in a sukkah, it changes a person being in a sukkah. Now, these are real spaces and real things. Don't laugh at a mitzvah. Don't mock it. You could say, I'm not margish it. I'm not always present to it. Don't laugh at a mitzvah. Study a little about a mitzvah. Find out about a mitzvah and take it seriously. Now, all this is part of somebody's malag ala mitzvahs is nail. It breaks the darkei atshuva. It breaks the derech of connection to Hashem, because we connect to Hashem through mitzvahs. And Hashem was mitzvah. It's a big deal. Asher kedeshanu b'mitzvaysav. We get a kedusha from mitzvahs. To take, I would say to everybody, I'm making an appeal. On the days before Rosh Hashanah, on days we want to be more ourselves, on the days we want to be connected to Bari Olam, the way we connect to Hashem is hein ha-mitzvahs, is through mitzvahs. To have a commitment to take mitzvahs more seriously, to be more serious. If that includes maybe studying the halachas more, they're very serious to me, so I want to know how to do it. That would be a very kedai thing, to study the halachas. What am I allowed to eat out of the sukkah? When do I make a leishev b'sukkah? To learn about the mitzvah more, to study more the mitzvah. It might be to even study the inyanim of the mitzvah. I want to connect to the mitzvah more. So let me find out, what is this? What's the mitzvah saying to me? Can I learn some ideas? Different ideas will resonate different years. Maybe study a little of the ideas of the mitzvah. To actually spend money on the mitzvah. To actually spend time on the mitzvah. To take it seriously. A mitzvah is precious. We're born for mitzvahs. And mitzvahs bring a kedusha, asher kedeshanu b'mitzvaysav. The Rebbeinu Shalom gave me this task, and there's something that means something to me. And an attitude of seriousness to mitzvahs. To take them seriously, to take a mitzvah, to try to connect to a mitzvah, to try to study a mitzvah. You watch people go to watch a big tzaddik, like light the menorah. You watch a big tzaddik, the way they study now, he studied something about the mitzvah and is connecting to it in a meaningful way. The mitzvahs, he was born for this mitzvah. And I want to express that this is something not to be malag ala mitzvahs. Part of not being malag ala mitzvahs is to know that the mitzvah elevates us. We say it before we do a mitzvah. Sher kedeshanu b'mitzvaysav. The mitzvah gives me kedusha. It does something to me. It changes me. To be aware that the mitzvah is changing. I don't see how a yid could come into Rosh Hashanah. He's the same guy. Now we have nisyanis. I would say the main sign of the Yetzer Hara is to tell a person you haven't gotten anywhere. I've done mitzvahs. I haven't gotten anywhere. I've done mitzvahs. I've sat in a sukkah. I've shaken the dalet minim. I had the dalet kaisis. I drank the dalet kaisis.
Is it automatic?
Yes, absolutely. Now, the more we can connect to it, absolutely. Sher kedeshanu b'mitzvaysav, this kedusha. Now, the more kavana for sure, the more I connect to it. There's madregas of kedusha for sure. The Chovos HaLevavos describes the hefsed v'atikun b'maisim, but there's a real kedusha to a mitzvah. Yid does a mitzvah is a big kedusha. So I wanted to express that because I had a father who took mitzvahs very seriously. took mitzvahs. I said a story in Sulam that moved me. I know in Sulam after Kabbalah Shabbos, so we give out pictures and things. And my father, who loves Sulam, and he told me, I love what you do, giving out prizes and pictures and things. He said, please keep doing it. It's great. He said, maybe do it later at night. You're delaying. We have a mitzvah of Kiddush. I want to get to the mitzvah of Kiddush. It's a big person. He took mitzvah so seriously. We have a mitzvah of Kiddush. In the home, he was Mizaris, Kiddush. Kiddush, we have a mitzvah of Kiddush. Somebody who's running, who has an excitement that there's a mitzvah, Zachar es Yom Shabbos l'kadshay. And I was zeicher to be around the father who was thinking, we're having a great time in shul. And he was enjoying it and wanted to be part and was mamish enjoying with everybody. He was into it. But he was also waiting for a mitzvah of Kiddush. He was waiting for a mitzvah of Kiddush. And he expressed that maybe we can just want to do my mitzvah of Kiddush. Maybe he was thinking of a time for it because he liked it so much. So we still do it. So what happened? Avada, by the way, first of all, we have to rush quicker. I want to bring people. I want to come to Kiddush. To me, it helps if we all. I want the chevra to be at Kiddush. So if it helps be at Kiddush, all achanas. Chassidim will only delay a mitzvah to get to the mitzvah. So you're allowed to do things before Shachris if it brings you to Shachris. Yeah. But a Yid was thinking about the mitzvah Kiddush. We have a mitzvah of Kiddush. Let's get to our mitzvah. The opposite of malagal mitzvahs. The opposite of laughing at mitzvahs. Of taking it seriously, a mitzvah. Thinking about a mitzvah. Learning about a mitzvah. Of zeros, a rush to do the mitzvah. Priority of the mitzvah. Rav Ezi would get frustrated. People on Ner Chanukah, guy is like Shilas. I'm going here, I'm going there. How do I like the mitzvah was like fitting in the mitzvah. You're born for that. That's like your tafkid. You could fitting in a mitzvah. The mitzvahs are what we're about. You study mitzvahs, you learn mitzvahs. It's not like a side thing to fit the shofar in your busy day of Rosh Hashanah. We have a mitzvah, we have a tzivah of Rosh Hashanah, of Tkiyah Shofar. I'm always impressed how seriously the guys take the Tkiyah Shofar. In Yeshiva, I'm impressed by it. There's something the Chevra has a mitzvah. We take our mitzvahs very seriously. So this inyan, and we can all imagine their madregas. By the way, pay for a mitzvah. I don't know if a bacher, if he can, if he can, maybe he could ask his father, could I have some money where I could buy myself? I want to go to the store myself. Maybe we can go with our fathers to buy them. And maybe we even earned a few dollars and we could pay for our own. Maybe we could chip in. Imagine a guy says to his tata, do you mind? I want to chip in for my dalad minim. Maybe I could give you half the money. I want to pick it out. I want to come along. To me, there's a certain bechina. A guy comes home and his dad hands him his dalad minim. There's some bechina there of malagal mitzvahs, of laughing at mitzvahs. You serious? just like that? You go to the store, go out. Go. I had a friend who was a masmid nifla. The guy charted his sleeping hours. He was an incredible masmid. He asked me. He went. I remember for 3-4 months he didn't leave the building of the Mir Yeshiva. It's a one-stop shop. He literally had gone months. He didn't leave the building. And he asked me, could I call my sister? He wants to go bake. He wasn't a baker. The guy's he wanted to make stuff for the Shalach Manas. He wanted to bake it himself. He wanted to bake stuff that he should give Shalach Manas. He wanted to bake stuff. It's the opposite of malagal mitzvahs, an attitude of seriousness for a mitzvah, to take it seriously, to buy the dalad minim. So part of spending money on a mitzvah is part of this inyan of chashivas of a mitzvah. I wanted to share this with the chevra. I wanted a specific, that my father was somebody, and I wanted to share this. In thinking about him, he took mitzvahs very seriously. And he handed that there was a chavivas mitzvah, preciousness. It's interesting, we blow the shofar, and we blow it twice. We blow it kiyas to mu'umad and to miyoshev, and Chazal say chavivas mitzvah because it's precious to us. Really, midaraisa, we only needed 9 koilos. We blow 30 because we have a suffix, but then we blow 60 because we have a chavivas mitzvah. We'll talk about tkiyah shofar and what we're doing. 60 tkiyas we blow for the mitzvah, 40 more as a minute. We'll discuss it. But by the Tkiyah Shofar, there's an inyan Chavivas HaMitzvahs, preciousness. I have a picture of youth. A picture that stays with me a lot is before Mincha in Yeshiva Rosh Hashanah. Now my Rebbe was very, very serious on Rosh Hashanah, but I have a picture before Mincha. We'd go to a classroom, and there was a Yid. He was a big musician, rather. He blew air instruments. He was very, very talented, and he would blow. He was a very special Yid. He is a special Yid. Rav Yankiv Kranz, beautiful Yid, a Yari Shemayim. He would take a shofar in a classroom, and my Rebbe would have him blow different kiyas, different such interesting sounds. He wanted it, Chavivas HaMitzvah. He wanted to make sure he heard different sounds, different shittas. And sitting in that room, there were a few Yid, and I was zeicha many, many years to be in that room and to hear different sounds. To me, it was a kiyum of Chavivas HaMitzvah. I remember it from youth. The mitzvah was precious and important. They would sit in the room after we had heard the kiyas. We had a long davening. We eaten the suda. We came back, and he was in a room. He wanted to hear Chavivas HaMitzvah. Hashem was mitzvah. Wanted to make sure he was yaitze, and Chavivas HaMitzvah. It says that this Chavivas HaMitzvah chases away the Satan. The prosecutor runs when a Yid expresses that a mitzvah is precious. It like chases away the Satan. There's no room for prosecution. A Yid takes seriously his mitzvahs, the tzivuyim that Hashem gave us. So I wanted to. There's so many ways in our own life we could be mechazek chashivas of a mitzvah, to take mitzvahs seriously. I wanted to make such an appeal with the Chevra. Thank you, Thank you. Thank you, Ozzy. Did we do the jumping yet as a team?
Us?
The team went jumping yet, or they go later? Is the team going somewhere? I think there was some trip for the team.
Yeah, what happened over here? We have 5 minutes. Just wrecked the shear, I'm not gonna lie.
See you next week.
Did
we announce what night activity you're doing today? Really?
Yeah.
What does that look like? Or we're going to find out tonight?
We're going to have teams, and then each team is going to send up one person.